Michael Jordan is not the leading scorer in the history of the game. He's not the winningest player in the history of the game. He's not the most versatile player in the history of the game. So how?
Walt Clyde Frazier is one of the top 75 players to ever play the game. Facts. He is also part of the New York Knicks folklore. Being part of the franchise's 2 championships, the Knicks and Walt Frazier will forever be synonymous. Facts. Not only that, he is legendary for his broadcasting career as well. One of the most recognized voices of the New York Knicks. One of my dad's favorite players. One of the few people on this earth who knows and understands basketball infinitely. And yet, even the great Walt Frazier can be prone to petty jealousy, like the pretty girl at the party looking for attention. You know, the girl who's a 10 in the hood, but a 3 when in the presence of some real baddies, right? Nobody cares about her, but she's all messed up in the head because she's not getting the attention amongst the other baddies. Cool. It's very apparent Mr. Frazier has a bone in his ass. Pause about Jordan. As much as Frazier is revered, you know, and he's beloved for my hometown team. This is in your face hoops, baby. And we don't give a damn about none of that. Hey? If it was my mother talking crazy about the game or about the greatest player I've ever seen, she would get this work too. Sorry, Ma. Love you. Hey? And trust me, I love my mama more than a pig loves slop, fan. Facts. So you could just imagine what's about to happen to Clyde Frazier, because he ain't my mama, nor my father. Listen, as with Shannon Sharp, Nick Wrong, and a bunch of these other really smart people, you know what I'm saying? They're really, I listen to them, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, they're highly intelligent. But when they publicly say dumb shit, you have to ask yourself, why? Why? And it's mind you gotta scratch your head like it's mind-boggling. What's the motivation? Mr. Frazier, why would you make these comments, man? With all your intelligence, integrity, and basketball acumen, why would you make these type of comments without context and such weak merit? Huh? You know why? Because you're a jealous hoe. Period. And you just gotta admit it, fam. You know? And it's not because he gave his opinion that I take offense. I take offense is because he didn't fully explain himself, right? And it was weak and not even explain it. It was just, how can I say, you know, it starts a chain reaction of bad information. Because of who he is, people will take his sentiment and run wild like silly hyenas, right? For instance, look at the guy that Mr. Frazier was talking to. He was sitting there, looking and smiling, agreeing like a true fan. You know, Clyde could have said his mother looks like a monkey, and he still would have been smiling and nodding his head in agreement. No pushback, no resistance, pure whole shit. Period. Alright, before I play the blood clot foolishness that came out of Frazier's mouth, I want to ask you a question, my intelligent audience. To know the sun is shining, do you have to look directly into it? You know, because there are certain times of the day, because of the Earth's rotation, you can't see the sun directly. However, you can still tell that the sun is shining, right? Because of all the surrounding evidence that concludes your logic. What I'm saying is this, fam. We didn't need to see stats. We didn't need any rings. We didn't need any accolades to know the sun was shining when it came to Jordan. We knew Jordan was the GOAT before he won a fucking thing. Facts. Hey? Remember, I want you to remember, Clyde was the same guy who said building a team around a guard wouldn't work when a shooting guard wouldn't work when Jordan first came out. You were wrong then, Mr. Frazier, just like you're wrong now. Audience, my intelligent basketball minds, when this video is done, I need you to share your thoughts. Forget how it helps the channel grow and the YouTube benefits and blah, 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 blah. Listen, at the end of the day, your voice helps me grow. It helps me think about my own perspective, how I can improve, how I can evolve and bring you better content. All right? Because I don't know it all. So your voices are the instruments of what the truth is. Selectively. Do you feel me? Do you smell me? Not do you smell? Listen. All right. Check it out. Take a listen to what Walt Frazier had to say. And when we come back, I'm going to cook this fool like my last name was Ramsey. Roll the clip.
Well, Jordan, how many times he had 50, 60 points, right? 38 times. Wilt Chamberlain did that like 138 times.
Yeah, it's really
it's like, so to get back to what you're saying, the greatest player of all time, I always say, what's the criteria?
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about the most dominant is Wilt Chamberlain, where the guy has all the records. Talking versatility is Oscar Robertson, the guy who averaged a triple-double, almost for his whole career.
Right.
Talking about winning is Bill Russell. Man has 13 world championships. So what's the criteria? Michael Jordan is not the leading scorer in the history of the game. He's not the winningest player in the history of the game. He's not the most versatile player in the history of the game. So how?
All right. So now you heard what Frazier had to say. And if he was having a conversation with a 3-year-old, everything he said would make complete sense to that 3-year-old. Facts. But that's not us, gang. See, we can critically think and deduce with reasoning. So let's walk through the horse shit and let's see where you land up at. Facts. Alright, first, I want you to think about this. Bobby Knight, legendary basketball coach, legendary, who saw all the greats. Wilt, Oscar, Kareem. You know what he did? All he did was co-sign Jordan as the best he'd ever seen. All he did was tell, what was it, the Portland team that Jordan should be the #1 pick.
So in the categories of competitiveness,
So he did. Whether if you're picking center for whatever you're picking, Jordan should be the #1 pick.
He's the best athlete. He's one of the best competitors. He's one of the most skilled players, and that to me makes him the best basketball player that I've ever.
Right? Jerry West, the logo himself, echoed the same sentiment. Right? Larry Bird, the most savage, competitive SOB that ever played a game, called Jordan Jesus or God or a deity in basketball shorts. Right? People who are above Clyde Frazier's pay grade. Men who have more basketball credibility than Frazier. And they didn't blink when talking about who was the best from their perspective. How come they never brought up any statistical data when mentioning who was the greatest that they came across or that they saw? Huh? Only you, Clyde. What's the issue? You know what? Because they were speaking from a place of pure love for the game, pure ability, not jealousy, envy, or some bitch-ass passive-aggressive stance. Nah, just what their eyes told them, dog. Next, can we agree that basketball is a big man's game, fam? Can we agree on that? The bigger you are, the more you are expected to dominate. Period. Hence, when you go to the park and you start picking your team and you've never seen any of these dudes or any of these players in your life, you don't know anything about them. But who do they normally pick first? The biggest dude on the court. Why is that? Ding, 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 ding. All right. Walt said, and I brought that up for a reason. I'm sorry. All right? Because Walt said Jordan wasn't the most dominant. Wilt Chamberlain was. This is true. Wilt Chamberlain's individual stats are otherworldly. And they had to change the rules of the game to give other human beings a chance to succeed. Well, Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't get any crazier than that. They had to change the game so other people could play. Right? This is true. And it's not Wilt's fault. However, while Wilt was putting up these insane numbers, right? Why couldn't he win consistently? He should have been winning everything. Huh? Winning is the object of the game, yes? Right. If you throw in the fact that Wilt didn't face prime competition due to the ABA being a separate league, was he playing the best in the world every night? No. The biggest human being on the court, putting up 100 points, 50 rebound games, could only win 2 rings, no 3-peats, no 2-peats, just absurd individual numbers. That's cute. You know why? Because I saw a guy half Wilt size, half his weight, win 3 in a row, sit down, come back, win another 3 in a row, while boasting the highest scoring playoff average in league history. Jordan did that at 6'6", right? 7'2", Wilt can miss me, fam. He can miss me. All right. Mr. Frazier then moved on to Bill Russell, right? Bill Russell, the man won 13 rings as a player and coach combined. Incredulous feat. He was the opposite of Wilt. He was another big who is arguably the GOAT defensive player. He dominated on one side of the ball. Let me say that again. He dominated on one side of the ball for the slow people in the back. And he excelled in the construct of a team to win rings. Right? What did Mr. Russell average offensively? Please tell me. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 16 points per game, I believe, give or take. So his offensive output was less than average. Can we agree on that? How many Hall of Famers did Russell play with? Okay. Again, I saw a 6'6" guard score the ball in ways never seen before, while also being an elite defensive presence. I also saw that same player evolve and win at the same rate Russell did. Not the same amount of championships, but one after the other, while being the most dominant force. Mr. Russell can have a seat too and miss him. Next, Frazier mentioned the godfather of the utility player. He's the godfather, the man who damn near averaged a triple-double for his career. Jesus, right? The ultimate definition of the complete player as it's been defined now, right? Oscar Robertson, aka the Big O, not the little one. Russell Westbrook's granddaddy. His historical exploits. You know what they got him? 1 ring. And he got that playing alongside the other player that Frazier mentioned, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. What a shot. Right? Now, Jabbar, another 7-footer who won at every level and won multiple championships, multiple MVPs. A case. He won 5 rings in LA with Magic. Got a case. Well, who was the primary force behind those teams? Was it Kareem or was it Magic? I don't know. But what I do know, it was a 6'6" guard who went to a trash franchise and won 6 rings. And although he didn't win until Pippen finally decided to stop getting migraines, okay, Jordan was the unquestioned biggest reason for the team's success. Were there other pieces that needed to fit for it to happen? Of course it was. You're damn right. But you don't run off 6 rings with 2 3-peats because of luck. What do most athletes say? Oh, you have to be lucky to win 1. The man did 2. Did 2 3-peats rather. You don't win 6 titles in 8 years because of Scottie Pippen. You dominate the league like that because you have a weapon and a 6'6" guard that can be used on both sides of the ball. You have an ultimate killer machine on the court. Scoring champ, league MVP, finals MVP, and defensive first team. Only done 4 times in league history, all done by the same man, Michael Jordan. Now, while all the players mentioned have a legit reason to be mentioned in the conversation, along with others like Bud, Kobe, we never saw the complete package on both offense and defense. We never saw a slayer of giants and anyone else who was in the way that displayed consistent dominance at the same time as a shooting guard. Never saw that. So, Mr. Frazier, the hell with your historical statistical theory? Mr. Frazier, if you are definitely being a donkey. Because if anyone understands the degree of difficulty to succeed as a guard in the NBA, you do, sir. You were an all-pro guard for years. If basketball knowledge was a rock, me, I would be a pebble, and Walt Frazier would be a mountain. Now, if this pebble brain of mine can add 1 + 1 = 2 and see why Jordan is considered to be above those other guys, what is wrong with Frazier's mountain of a brain to see the same thing more vividly, right? Why can't he see the same thing Jerry West and Bob Knight saw? You know what the answer is? There's nothing wrong with any of these people, right? They're not crazy. They just have their own disingenuous reason or agenda for spreading more shit. Facts. Now listen, I will never diminish Clyde's game and what he did in the NBA, especially what he did for my New York Knicks. But I will cut your tongue out for talking nonsense and misleading people about the greatest basketball player in the history of the game. To date. Period. So Clyde, next time you want to talk about the GOAT debate, leave the horse shit at the door, fam. Alright, y'all, listen. I'm sorry. That's all I got. It's your turn, fam. Take the pin off the grenade and blow the comment section blood clot to pieces. What do you think about Clyde's comments and my rebuttal? Am I on the wrong side of thinking here? Please, somebody tell me what's the vibes? On your way out, if you enjoyed the video, tap the like and let me know that you're in the building. And if you really feeling the vibes, subscribe and join the family. We would love to have you. Till the next video, stay true. Don't let jealousy and envy make you look like an idiot. Be safe and God bless.